So, today I want to talk about times of major change. It's a huge subject. Can't possibly do justice to it in 10 minutes. Might be the first of a number around, circling around it in various overlapping ways. That's often why people come for an astrology reading, because they're going through a major change. And often life stops working. Things get taken away from us. We can lose people, careers, homes, health, our sense of who we are. Can it just feel like something terrible's gone wrong? And the job of the astrologer, I think one of the most important jobs of the astrologer is to help people navigate through these times, to say, no, you're not going mad. Um, it needs to happen. The old needs to be cleared away for the new to come in. There's Pluto. You can just about see him, the Disney dog, on that second shelf up on the left. He would turn up. Yeah. Yeah, it's Pluto transits that do it as well as Neptune. Yeah, but maybe he's kind of saying you've got to have humor in it as well. Well, it can be tough having humor. It can be tough hanging on to your sense of humor in these times because they can be really difficult. People can get really, really distraught. It can really destroy your faith in life. I mean, I've just been reading Nick Cave's book, Faith, Hope and Carnage. Nick Cave, the rock star, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Yeah, he's 6 months older than me, and so we're both old men. And and his son Arthur died when he was 15. He had twin sons. He's Australian, but he was living in Brighton, and his son was 15. I think he'd taken acid and he walked off a cliff. It's like bloody hell, and he was Nick Cave was absolutely torn apart by it, just the sort of depth of grief. But he's felt Arthur around him. And he talks a lot about that sort of thing. And well, he's not going to insist that there is a presence called Arthur, but he feels it. And so much has come out of it. It's like he's gone into mutinous mode. It's like, got nothing left to lose. Life's been so terrible, so let's just bloody go for it. Let's just rebel against that and produce something brilliant. And it's brought out new depths in him. And that, in a way, steers me around to my original reason for wanting to talk about this. Because at these times, and it can be like Pluto making a 90-degree angle with your sun, Neptune on your ascendant. If it's your whole life, it's usually the sun, moon, or the angles, and Pluto or Neptune making a hard angle. But there's a point in these times at which you can make a decision. That's my original reason, original impulse behind this piece. A decision about who you are and who you're going to be amidst what seems like the shambles of the old, because often the old does need to go for the new to be born. Trees shed their leaves in winter so they can have new leaves and they can grow in new ways the next year. Or the plant withdraws to the rhizome and then flowers or blooms even more spectacularly the next year. Let me be the snow. Perhaps I can be the snow to let your blossoms sleep so that you can bloom in the spring. That's Nancy Wood wrote that after hanging around with the Pueblo Indians for many years. It's in the spirit of them that a woman is going to die. And she writes this poem to her husband she's been with for a long time, that she's still going to be there. She's going to be the wind. She's going to be the snow. She's going to be the rain to help him in her life. Perhaps I will be the star to guide your uncertain wings so that you have direction in the night. It's like we become everything when we die. And maybe we become everything in this life. We become more connected by these transits, connected to everything. we become more aware of the fragility of life and, in a way, the importance, even the urgency of seizing that new life. So that's what this piece is about, seizing that new life that is there to be found in the destruction. It's not just destruction, there's something new to be found. And you need faith. Yeah. You might think, look, I imagine who you could be, who you would like to be, and seize it, take it. The power, you can't just do that at any old time. It's not a willful thing. The force has to be with you, so to speak. Yeah, the force of Pluto or Neptune. May the force be with you. And there's a certain point when the force is with you, you're ready to be born or start to be born, and you seize those moments. So when you're going through these times of big change and you seem to be losing so much, think about what it is you'd like to be or what it is you'd like to do. The wholer person that could do that, and have faith in that and take it and seize it. Maybe I'll talk personally. I've got Pluto on my Venus at the moment. And so it's not my whole life, but it's an aspect of my life. Venus, what you get pleasure from. Venus, relationships. And it's come to me. It's come to me. It is time to stand upright in ways that I haven't before. I'm starting to make that decision. You can hold it to me in a few months' time. How's it going? But it's like me using alcohol and women as props. Yeah, I'm not standing fully upright. It's like right now I'm making a decision not to do that, not to use them as props. Yeah. I had a dream quite some years ago which told me you're not going to be in another relationship until you're happy not being in one. And it was pointing all the way down the road to this decision I need to make, not to use other people as something to lean on as a point of psychological security, not to use alcohol in that sort of way. I mean, alcohol's brilliant. If you're a writer, you've got to really watch out because you genuinely get some of your best ideas from it. It's a medicine as well as a poison. So you need to be really careful around it. It's a class A bloody drug is alcohol. Yeah, they'd ban it if it was around now. It's a cocktail of the best, so to speak, of a load of other ones, drugs. So yeah, it's like I'm making this decision to stand upright. And this idea of standing upright came to me like 7 or 8 years ago now. I needed to leave the situation I was in and stand upright. But I'm still learning to do that 7 or 8 years down the line. So these are long-term changes. They're slow. Yeah, they're gradual. You look back. Pluto and Neptune transits take a long time. They have an orb of quite a few degrees. You can feel them coming in years beforehand, you know, and they're like setting out on the sea when you go into them. And you never know where you're going to come out. And the astrologer can't tell you where they could come out. And even if he could, it's not his job to, because we need to live these things. And knowing would just get in the way of living them. So yeah, there'll be certain points at which you see, that I can do that. I'd love to be able to do that, or be that. And that's happened to me a number of times over the years, particularly the Pluto or Neptune transits to the major bits of my chart. And then it's like you get put in a cooker and you're just cooked and you're just cooked, and it seems to go on and on. And that's where you need to have faith. That's where you need to tune in to that there is this underlying cooking process going on. Just keep tuning into that when it seems to go on and on. You don't know where you're going. Tune into that. It might take some years, but then there'll be certain points in which you go, It kind of comes to you, but you also need to seize it and believe in it and take it. Seize that new life. Okay, that'll do for now.